What's up, party people?
Woo!
Welcome to Jawsbreakers,
Yay, yay.
Scary Funny Shark Movie Show. My name is Brett. That one there is Jasmine. Jasmine, say hi.
Hi.
Welcome back to another season of this show.
Hey.
Season 4, Jasmine. It's
4.
been
Woo!
4 years.
Oh my God, really? 4 years? Oh
Well,
no,
okay. It's
it
been
hasn't been
like,
four.
no, it's
Two.
been like 2 years.
2 years. 2 years. I was gonna say, it doesn't seem
Because
like four.
the
That'd
first
be
two seasons we did not go by like a yearly thing, and then season 3 was all of 2022, and now season 4 is 2023.
so 3 years then.
Well, it will be 3 years.
It
It's
will
not
be
3 years
years.
yet. When we hit
Yeah.
our anniversary on let's see here, November. November is our anniversary. But
Our
welcome back to the show. Oh, I'm
podcast.
sorry. Are you tired? Are you
Whew.
sleepy?
Yeah, I'm
We
getting
just
old.
literally just started the show and you're already yawning. It's not a good look.
I'm old.
Mm,
So,
yeah. Uh-huh.
some things have changed at work.
Oh,
So
you're pregnant.
heck, what? No.
You got a new puppy.
No, it's some things too.
You
My shifts
adopted
change.
you adopted
Change.
a pet lizard at work that's a tegu and 4 feet long, 60
No.
pounds, pure
My hours
muscle.
just changed. My hours changed. So I
Oh,
wake up
okay.
early now and I go
Should
to
have just said
bed
that.
early. Okay.
Well, this is not the show for you then. Turn it off and take a nap, Jasmine. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. So for our first show back, we thought we'd start off with a bang there. Well, we ended last season with a bang. We watched Jaws, the titular shark movie that started it all. And this
Exactly.
time we decided to jump head into the future, and we decided to watch The Meg on our Discord there. If you want to join in, check us out in the description. There's a link to the Discord. You can watch
Yeah,
movies
all the
along with
links.
you can watch all the movies with us. But Jasmine, we watched The Meg. How do you want to go about this sucker?
Well, I mean,
Brr.
the Meg is the Meg. This is the second time I've seen this movie. The first time we saw it together in theaters when it first came out in 2018. Um, and my feelings about the movie are still the same, I think.
Yeah,
So,
a
what about you?
generic. I think it's a generic action movie based around a shark. It's a AAA in the sense that the budget is so high, like the CGI sharkiness and the set pieces, the boats, the technology they use, all super like sci-fi esque and looked very shiny and expensive.
I mean, they had
Also,
a $130 million budget.
and also they had a stellar cast for the most part. Jason Statham is an A-lister, right?
Not Jason Stamos.
Not Jason Stamos. Jasmine kept calling him Jason Stamos and Joe Statham, and we don't know who he is apparently.
Yeah, apparently I have no idea. The names are very similar to me, so but Jason Statham and there are some other big people. There's Bing Bing Lee, who's like the main lady
Okay.
in this movie,
Well, I guess Jason Statham
is the main character.
he's the main character. I called him an A-lister. He's probably on that borderline there. I mean, if Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp, those guys are A-listers, he's probably just a smidge beneath those guys. No shade to Jason Statham in this regard. He's acted in a ton of movies. You've seen
Mm-hmm.
him. I mean, he's typically cast as an action guy, right? He doesn't
Yeah.
do particularly emotional roles. He's always this kind of like somewhat sarcastic, somewhat like salt of the earth kind of tough guy. And
Yeah.
that's what he does. That's what he does best, and that's what he does here too. He does the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is listed as an action thriller movie, so
I would
I
agree.
mean, there is a
It's
lot of
not
action.
horror, and
No.
not every shark movie is horror. It's just most of them tend to veer that
And
way.
and keep in mind this movie is I checked it, it's a PG-13 movie, which
Mhm.
makes sense to be honest when watching it,
Well,
thinking
when the
back
shark
on
is
it.
so big that it just swallows people whole, there's not a
Not a
lot of
lot of blood
yeah. The most gore you
or
get is from when they blow up a whale by mistake midway through.
no, there wasn't there like a hand or something too? Like
Yeah, he chomps off the billionaire's hand, but
And someone
not
picks it up or something.
Not Jason Statham. He doesn't chomp off the hand. The shark does. No, the
Yeah.
billionaire's hand, like he. Well, I guess you don't see it separate, but it kind of you just
No.
see his arms outstretched as the shark just
I thought
closes.
there was like a legit arm. Just one
Probably, but
arm.
even then, that's not that bad.
Yeah, no. The gore was not that bad. And
It was for the whale. That was pretty grody.
yeah, the whales seem very realistic, to be honest. The whales seem
Um,
pretty realistic.
Jasmine, who's in this movie?
We have Jason Stamos. Just kidding, Jason
Joe Statham
Statham. James Statham.
as Jonas Taylor.
Joe Jonas.
As Jonas, nope, Jonas Taylor is the name of the character.
Yeah, Jonas Taylor. Jason Statham plays Jonas Taylor. He's the main guy. Then you have Bing Lee. She plays the main female character in this.
Female lead. Her name is Suyin, and she's kind of like, what is her job exactly? Because her father is like in charge of the entire operation.
I think she just works on the project that is the research.
Yeah, but she's clearly a top, somewhat of a hot top dog in that facility because she can just run to a submarine, jump in it, and take off with it, and face no repercussions.
Yep. And then you have Rainn Wilson, who plays Morris, which is our billionaire who has funded this whole project.
He's our billionaire type who has so much money, he just has nothing better to do. Only instead of going to Mars, he wants to go to the bottom of the ocean.
Yep. And then Cliff Curtis, who plays Mac.
Solid. He arguably up until there's a certain breaking point in the movie where it's just all Jason Statham and Bing Lee. And up until that point, like Cliff Curtis kind of is like the anchor of the cast, I would argue. Kind of keeping
he's like the director or something of the research facility or something like that. Like I
thought that was Winston Chow as
Winston Chow, I think, is like the head researcher. And then I felt like Cliff Curtis was like the guy that was like in charge of like who does what and stuff like that. Both major roles in the research facility. So Winston Chow is Suyin's dad, also in charge of the research. He plays Zhang. And then we have Suyin has a daughter in this movie, played by Shuya Sophia Kai. She plays Mei Ying. Mei Ying, actually, I think she did a really good acting job.
She's a child actor, and she did what was required of her. I
liked her outfits.
She was appropriately scared when the Meg tried to eat her at the base when it first appeared.
Believable screams.
The water. Very scared. Otherwise, she was just this plucky little kid who hears everything and probably knows more than what she should know. To that end, she's not asked to do like a ton.
Facts, yeah.
She doesn't necessarily like.
She just basically hangs out because that's where her mom works.
Yeah, and we don't get to see any sort of repercussions when, spoiler alert, Winston Chow Zhang, her grandfather, passes away. We don't get to kind of see that emotional discomfort.
They do a little bit where she's like the mom's hugging the daughter. And
but they like lead her away. You don't really get to see that necessarily. But that's not what you really want from this movie, I guess, necessarily. But there's like a few characters in every movie where like they don't really need, like, I'm #positivity podcast. Thank you, Lord and Savior Chris Logan. You don't need every character that's in a movie. Like, you can always cut back some. You could have made this movie without the need to have like a daughter be on the research vessel, because one, that doesn't make any sense. But
I think they were just put her in mostly for like the connection but
they also don't
romance between the Jason
anything.
And
But they don't. My point is, they don't do anything. Like, we don't get a scene where she's in any real peril, right? Like, there's no scene where she's one of the ones that falls off the boat and needs to be rescued. Like, everybody's
actually
off
she
the
does.
Mei Ying?
Yeah, she jumps off with one of the characters because the shark attacks the boat. She's like, I have to go, because Bing Bing's like in the little zoomy submarine thing, little jet water thing, and she's like, I have to go save my daughter, and she goes and She's
I
with
literally,
I forget who
whose
she's
fault is
with.
that I have no recollection of this whatsoever?
I miss the fighting where they're in the two little yellow jet.
Yeah, but I don't remember the daughter playing any sort of role in this.
Because everyone jumped off the boat because the boat started sinking.
Then we got Ruby Rose as Jax. She's the hacker.
Yeah.
Perpetuating the stereotype that people that are good with computers can just hack things, and like you could just hack a satellite and no time flat and just get what you want out of it. Like that's no.
And then you got Paige Kennedy, who played DJ,
AKA the voice of reason out of any of the people here.
Why
He's
am
just
I
like,
on this boat? Why are we going after this large shark?
he's
I
like,
need to get out of here.
yeah, he's like, we're gonna go do that. Like, why?
But
And
he
he's
still
correct.
goes.
He's
But
correct.
he still goes.
Finding one shark in the entire ocean is just insane. And I'm like, nah, like I ain't getting paid for this to get eaten by some big shark. I'm out of here.
But the thing is, he still goes. Everyone else they're like, oh, we're done. Like the rich guys, like, oh, we're gonna close down the project. But then they go back and they're like, oh, we gotta go track down the shark. He's like, why are we doing this? But then he goes anyways. There's nobody else except for the main people that go.
To the point of that,
the
Mr. Kennedy, voice of reason, don't submit to peer pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's exactly what happened.
Uh-huh.
And then you had Robert Taylor, who played Heller, who was the doctor.
Dr. Heller, yeah. So we'll go ahead and talk about the beginning of this movie. We're introduced to Jason Statham. He's some sort of rescue diver guy. Mm-hmm. And there was a submarine at the bottom of the ocean, and he was basically forced to make a call where we can't go back. We need to save who we can save. And literally the moment he makes that decision, the sub explodes, and he wouldn't have been able to save anybody anyway. But he saved a bunch of people's lives, and they all blamed him, saying it's his fault we couldn't save everybody.
The doctor and everything like that.
He said that there was something down there that attacked us or whatever.
And they kept on saying, "Oh, it's what is it called when you start hallucinating down there?"
The bends, maybe.
Yeah, he was saying he had the bends and stuff.
Here's a point I want to point out. And we'll get into this in a little bit later too. So the Meg is trapped beneath a layer of whatever of the ocean, like so deep, like it can't get out. What attacked the submarine? Because the submarine was not in the Mariana Trench. Like, so is there a third, yet another Meg floating around out there attacking submarines? We don't know.
It was like 100 meters, wasn't it? Down. It was
the second time when they go down to like the trench and stuff. Actually, no, it's when the cage is broken. I thought. It's not. Who cares? It's not important. You have Olafur Dari Olafsson as the wall. Jessica
also comedic stuff. With him.
All right, chill, Jasmine, chill. Let me get through these last three people. Olafur Dari Olafsson, the wall. Jessica McNamee as Lori, and Masi Oka as Toshi. Round out the majority of the cast here. There's a couple others, minor characters here.
Yeah, no, that's who I have as well.
But you mainly see these three characters at the beginning of the movie. After we get introduced to Jason Statham, and he goes off kind of the deep end and just becomes a drunk in some South American country somewhere.
It was Thailand.
The research station does their thing. They go to the bottom of the Mariana Trench and they find a layer. Do they ever say what the layer is? I'm sure they do, and I just don't remember.
I don't remember. They thought it was the bottom of the ocean, but turns out it's not the bottom of the ocean. It's just a layer that's protected by the heat vents and the cold air meeting in one.
Right. So it's some kind of thick layer that's impassable for things. And they're able to breach this with their
submarine,
their exploration sub, and they see a whole world, like new world of fantastic species that no one would have ever been able to see, stuff like that. And when they're attacked and the thing goes offline, the research station, they're like, oh, we need the best. Who can we get to become the rescue diver?
Jonas Taylor, the drunk.
Fire up the helicopter. We're going to Thailand. I said South American, but you're right. It was Thailand.
Okay, yeah. And the thing is, like, I don't understand why they would think of him, because it had already been like years since he last dived like that. So wouldn't he need to retrain his body to go to those depths if he hadn't done it in years?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a thing.
He jumps right back into it when he realizes his ex-wife, Jessica
Lori
McNamara, sorry, I
is
can't pronounce her name, is one of the people trapped at the bottom along with the wall and Toshi.
So he goes and he
Well,
promises the daughter he's
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
bring the friends back, yada yada
sort of.
yada.
The Ling Ling B Ling Ling Ling. I'm
Bing
sorry,
bing.
I'm terrible. Bing Bing Lee, uh, flies off the handle and she just goes. She's like, I'm gonna go do it, and then he follows. She gets attacked by a giant squid, which is then itself attacked by a giant shark. They confirm it's the megalodon, and Jason Statham is just like, "Oh, guess I'm not crazy."
And they're like, ooh.
And I'm like, "Okay, well, maybe you are a little bit because, like, are we assuming that, like, the Meg never, like, there's at least one Meg out in the ocean somewhere attacking other submarines? I don't know."
And the Meg, apparently, all the Megs are attracted to light. So every single time they have the lights on, it would attack them. Oh, fun fact, real quick. I thought this was so interesting. You want to know what they used to make the squid sound of it grabbing onto the submarine?
Sure.
Apparently, the sound editors used a parked car in a quiet location and then just used a bunch of plungers.
That's hilarious.
Just a mixture of wet and dry plungers on a car to make the sounds. I thought that was funny. But anyways, so Ling Ling, Bing. Now you got me saying her name wrong. Bing,
You fucking it up.
Bing Bing ends up going down there. She ends up having to retreat because she got attacked. Jonas Taylor or Jason Statham goes down there and he's like trying to save them all. But lo and behold, it's another tough decision because it's the megalodon's attacking him. So Toshi decides he's going to get everyone out and then he's just gonna lock the hatch and make them go, and then he dies. And it's a very dramatic scene. He gives the letter to his wife, to his friend, and the shark's coming down and he's like, ah! And then he gets eaten whole. Very dramatic.
To that end, they rescue everyone except for Toshi, who basically sacrifices himself so the rest can make a getaway. And of course, Jason Statham gets the brunt of this. They're like, "You left Toshi behind." Da, da, da. Like what? Like Bing Bing Lee's like, "You left him behind, didn't you? Because that's what you do." Like, fucked up.
Yeah, I will admit that some of the writing in this is not good. I don't know if they made it that way because it was like supposed to be a shark movie or what, but some of the writing in this didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Since we're like kind of starting to get into the thing real quick, and we've introduced all the characters and kind of like what their deal is a little, at least a little bit. Who won your Jonathan Pizza award for this movie? Jonathan Pizza, of course, being named in honor of Jonathan Pizza of a bunch of other shark movies we watched, like, oh shit! Now that I said it, I already forgot. Help me, Jazmin.
Planet of the Sharks. I know
Planet of the Sharks. That's one of them.
But he wasn't.
He's also in Six-Headed Shark Attack.
We
loved him in that. And there was another one too.
I will say that Bing Bing Lee, I think, was the best actress. She was by far the best. Believable.
Empire of the Sharks, I think.
Probably, but I say Bing Bing. She had the best acting, I think, in the whole thing.
You think so? She wins your Jonathan Pizza award?
Yeah, I think she had the best acting in the whole thing. I remember watching it in 2018, and I thought everyone else's acting was bad. No offense to everybody else, but I don't know. Maybe it was just the writing for me back then or something. I don't know.
I think for me, like Masi Oka as Toshi I thought was superb. I think The Wall, Mr. Olafson was also really good too. But I'm gonna have to give mine to Rainn Wilson, billionaire Mr. Morris.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. He played a billionaire very well. He's very not borderline cocky, but not quite cocky. Like he's smart. He knows a lot of things, but he has no idea what's going on currently. Like he's
So
out of his depth as far as like what he's invested in.
I feel like they all played their roles, like how like they were given the roles and they played them well, but for some reason to me, like I just don't think that they all like meshed, maybe. I don't know. Am I
Well,
making sense to you at all? Like
yeah.
something felt off with
It was a
the
heist
movie.
movie with where everyone's got their role. You had the hacker, you had the engineer type guy, you had the manager of them all, you had the guy funding everything, you had the action go get him guy, you had the smart lady, etc.,
Mm,
etc.,
that's
all
true.
trying to hunt a shark. Um, they basically were like, "All right, we're making a shark movie. Here's our template. We need the hacker, we need the billionaire. Let's fill these slots, and then we'll figure out what the pieces are doing as we go.
Yeah.
We'll do the story later." We got Jason Statham, great action guy, cool. Bing Bing Lee, fantastic, beautiful, intelligent, strong female lead. Rainn Wilson, billionaire, boom, easy. Ruby Rose, cool hacker chick. Um, yeah, it's fine. So congratulations, Bing Bing Lee and Rainn Wilson, our first Jonathan Pincer Award winners of season 4.
Woo.
So
So
they
go ahead,
escape.
Brett.
I was gonna say they escape. They
Mm-hmm.
breach the layer again, but uh, spoiler. I mean, it's not a spoiler. We know this is gonna happen. The Meg escapes through the breach as well into the open ocean,
Starts
and
murdering everyone on a beach.
well, not quite yet. First, it eats the whale, the whale mommy. Then it eats
Does
the
it?
baby. Yeah, it because they don't know that
There's just
it's.
so much that happens in this
They
movie.
do not know that the Meg is out yet. The first time we see it is when Mei Ying is like playing in that little underwater
Restrict
ring
like
thing.
construction area.
Well, it's like a viewing place. It's
Mm,
under the water. It's completely covered in glass, so you can see everything around
there
you.
were hallways and yeah.
And we see the Meg, like the camera suddenly does a shift, and the Meg's just right there staring at her, and she screams as it chomps down on the glass, and it's unable to break it. And then when the adults come in, they see like this where the grass is clacked from the shark bite, and they
The
notice
grass.
grass.
You said grass.
No, I didn't. They said glass.
Okay.
Okay. Uh,
Okay.
and then they notice that like the baby whale's like freaking out, and they're like, "Where's the mom?" It's implied that the mom's been eaten.
And then the
Because
baby gets eaten.
yeah, because the Meg just shows up and just tears the baby apart. Really sad.
It is sad. I
So
don't
now,
remember them talking about the whales in the beginning of the movie. Do you?
yeah, I do. They
I don't
introduce
know.
when they're doing like kind of a tour of the facility before things go wrong. Because billionaire Rainn Wilson shows up and they give him like a little mini tour of the facility. They take him into that like viewing area, and you can see the whales, and the whales have names. They name the whales and like, oh, and that's her baby, yada yada. So you do get to see them.
Oh, I must have just forgotten.
Uh, It's fine. So now, like, oh no, the Meg's loose. What have we done? What has science wrought upon the world? It's got to be up to us to stop this giant prehistoric predator.
E.
And so the gang does what they got to do.
And there's a lot of falling off the boat, a lot more shark attacks on a
Yeah,
beach.
they go on a boat, and they ultimately like over the course of this adventure, Dr. Heller dies, but not before he says he's sorry to Jason Statham for not being, he's sorry he didn't believe him.
He gives
Zhang,
up his life for Ruby Rose. He's like, I'll distract the shark. You go.
Zhang also dies and gets a nice touching moment with Su Yin, uh, which
Yeah.
which I thought was was a decent scene.
Yeah, it was decent. It was very
Uh,
emotional for the grandpa to die.
and they're like, "Oh man, this shark! Oh, what are we gonna do?" And then Rainn Wilson's like, "Why don't you shoot it with a tracker?" And all these smart people are like, "Oh yeah, duh! Like, why didn't we think of that?"
And so are able to kill a megalodon. And then while everyone is like,
Well,
yeah, we caught him.
you're jumping so far ahead, like
No.
constantly. Yes,
Well,
you are.
when you jumped ahead, like, you jumped ahead with Zhang's death. Zhang's death came after the second megalodon.
Yeah, but you're okay, fine. So anyway, they get the tracker on and they decide they come up with this plan for the poison. They manage to poison it to death and they have it pulled halfway up
The
the boat.
cage
Yeah.
scene.
And it's dead, and the wall, of course, is getting his picture taken with the Meg and falls off the boat. And ha 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 ha, and then he's like swallowed whole. As the second, much more larger Meg erupts from the ocean and grabs the dead Meg and pulls it down.
And tips over the whole boat, and then Zhang dies, and then the doctor dies. So the wall dies.
And then that's when they're like, "Oh no, we gotta take care of this." And the billionaire's like, "Look, okay, I got the Chinese military on it. They're gonna take it from here." And everyone's like, "Woo!" But he lied. Surprise! He doesn't want the lawsuit that could come from this, as if concealing, like as if lying about the Chinese military being on it is going to somehow protect him from lawsuits that would have already occurred.
So he gets his own like militia dudes,
He's
and
got like a private military, folks.
and he gets them, and they are like trying to hunt down the megalodon at night undercover, and they're just throwing bombs into the water. The helicopter is, because they are like, yeah, this is it, we got him. So they're just bombing it, and he's like, do another one. We got to make sure it's dead. So they do another one. Lo and behold, they kill a whale.
Right, but they don't know that yet. They pull up and he's like, go get me a tooth and you can keep one for yourself. And the guy comes back and goes, this thing ain't got no teeth. I think we killed a whale. And that's when you start noticing all the other sharks frenzying on the whale, which is something that would happen in nature. Maybe not immediately like that. The shockwave surely would have scared them off for some time, but they start chomping, but then they disperse because the big boy coming in get some meat. He's still hungry.
Of course, the billionaire falls off the boat as they try to get away from the Meg.
Yeah.
And he's trying to climb the whale, and lo and behold, the Meg's still hungry and swallows him as well as the whale.
Just like with the wall, like it was not even trying to eat him. It was just trying to take a bite out of the whale, just like it was trying to take a bite out of the dead Meg, and it accidentally swallowed wall. So most of the time, the second Meg at least was not even after the humans, at least up until they started fighting it later on. But
somehow, and still the attack on the beach too.
Yeah, that was after when the gang realizes that he never alerted the Chinese military, and we got to take the matters into our own hands again. And it's heading towards the beach. This beach is way too crowded.
Very crowded.
Like insane crowded. Like I've never seen that many people, and like it's like, why would you even want to go? There's that many people. It's just outrageous how crowded it was. And the Meg is just causing chaos. We get a nice, I say nice sarcastically, a terrible scene where like the dog falls off of a wedding boat, and it's like, oh Pippin, oh no Pippin.
Fun fact about Pippin, he was actually, his name is very similar to the dog from Jaws, whose name was Pippin.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so they put that in there. They did, like all shark movies that we've seen, they decided to put in some homage to the original Jaws movie.
Except this one doesn't get eaten, unlike the poor dog from Jaws.
Depending on which Jaws one you watch.
It's all the same Jaws. It's just there's some versions of it where the dog is dead and there's eaten, and then there's other versions where they just kind of cut that scene entirely, so it's just left ambiguous. But
yeah,
he gone. Spoiler alert, at the end when everyone's all happy and celebrating, Pippin swims back to the boat, perfectly fine and alive, just swimming around in the ocean for like 10 hours, whatever.
Basically, so after the beach, they are using a wounded whale sound, which Brett had a problem with this. Like, how did the Meg know what a wounded whale sounded like if he was at the bottom of the ocean the whole time?
Right, because he's underneath the Mariana Trench, which is one of the deepest places on Earth. And I get sound travels really well through water. Like, whale sounds are meant to travel great distances. I'm not convinced that they penetrated that deep and through whatever that weird layer of like heat and chemicals was. Because if the Meg's body couldn't pass through that layer, why am I to believe that that sound was able to pass through there? So I don't know. The shark instantly recognized that there was a wounded whale nearby and went to go check it out. And
Mm-hmm. Got the
Joe
huge fight scene with
Joe
Jason
Statham and
Statham.
Ling BB, Bing Bing Lee, damn it, uh, in submarines, which are equipped with torpedo rounds
They're
on the.
cool looking little
They
submarine.
look like Star Wars vehicles, but they have torpedoes and like they're science research submarine vessels that are capable of going like, I don't know, 60 miles an hour under the water. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, knots and these tight turns and shooting torpedo, like just craziness. Like, wow, what scientific weapons? Like, what do they expect? Like, they
This
went to the
billionaire
bottom.
must have spent so much money on all of this freaking
It's
equipment.
almost like he wrote a blank check and they're like, look, we got to spend this money somewhere. Put torpedoes on the fucking thing.
And like when we're talking about these submarines and research like vessels, like they don't have regular windows either. They like have like these screens where you can see 360 like around yourself while you're
They're
in the
like
water.
they're like spheres.
Yeah, they're to be honest, it's cool, but I feel like that's a very unrealistic.
Uh,
But what do I know about submarines? Nothing.
yeah. So how do they end up killing the second Meg, Jazmin?
Basically, it's Jason Statham, and one of his torpedoes got busted, so it's like a sharp metal piece. So as the Megalodon is running towards him, he decides to dip down, and as the shark's coming to him, he just takes that side of the torpedo where the metal's like super sharp and just puts it down the belly of the shark.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't remember what the killing blow was. He ended up getting out of the submarine, right? And then stabbed it in the eye.
He stabbed it in the eye, which helped as well. Was it
He's no
also? Well, it
Go ahead.
wasn't poison this time, was it? I can't.
No, basically he did the undercut of the belly, and then his submarine blew up, and he was like, okay, so he started stabbing him in the eye, and then as he was stabbing him in the eye, the shark jumps into the air with Jason attached to it, and he puts it in its brain, and then it just falls down, and it's dead.
Immediately swarmed by sharks, ready to eat it.
Yeah, like tons of sharks just
Like
ready to
they were
eat
all
it.
just like they were all just chilling somewhere, like in the distance. Like, oh, I can't wait for this fucking Meg to die so I can rush in and grab a bite.
I mean, I understand that, but I thought that, like I was telling while we were watching the movie, I thought that there was a thing that if like sharks could sense like the blood of other sharks, they have a tendency to stay away because they could also be in danger. So I feel like that wouldn't be like a thing that actually happens. They wouldn't just automatically start gnawing on the Meg.
Yeah, I agree. But it's a happy ending. Ultimately, Pippin's alive. Jason Statham and
Bing Bing
Bing Bing, they
have their romantic.
Yeah, because during the course of the movie, they kind of have this like, oh, she's into you, and he's just like, okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna give her a chance because I was married once before.
Yeah, but he's also not shy about
There's
it.
a
Like, he's
whole
clearly into
scene
her
where
too.
basically she walks in on him butt ass naked. He's got
Yeah,
like a towel. He just got out of the shower.
he's
He's
all
got a
dadded
towel
up with
on.
his
He's all
muscles, and she's like,
beefed
ooh,
out. She's like,
ooh.
ooh. She's like, you need
So
to put
that
clothes
was
on. He's like, I was just in the shower.
very cringe, very cheese. And speaking of cheese, Jazmin, we have to give this movie our rating before we go any further. There's a little bit more to talk about, but let's start with that, the cheese factor.
Well, if we're gonna do ratings real quick, I'm gonna just give the rundown on what everybody else thought. That doesn't matter, but what everyone else thought, because our thoughts are more important.
Okay.
Okay, ratings. We got IMDb with a 5.6 out of 10. 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. 78% of Google users like this movie. And then 67% of people on Just Watch.
Real middle of the road there.
Yeah, I would agree with IMDb and give it a 5.6.
Well, what's your cheese factor, Jazmin?
I don't want to say it was cheesy in the normal sense. More like corny. I don't know. I didn't. I'm
Jazmin's
gonna give it
a,
a 2.
a 2 corns on the cobs. I'm gonna give it a blue cheese. There wasn't much cheese. I thought the hacking stuff is cheesy just because it's like every movie with hacking doesn't know what hacking is. And it makes yeah, it's whatever. It makes me roll my eyes.
Yeah, well, that's a different meter. If we're talking eye roll meter, I would give this a high eye roll meter.
Okay. Well, okay, fine. That's not cheesy then. I strike my hacking comment from the record for now. But like some of the cringy, cheesy stuff between Bing Bing Lee and Jason Statham, like the shower scene we just mentioned, some of that quote unquote romance was kind of cheesy. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I give it a blue cheese for cheesiness. Eye roll meter. I'll start. Uh, no movie knows what hacking is. This movie doesn't know what science is.
Cool
Like
science stuff,
we
though. At least
taught
there's that.
cool science stuff with torpedoes that can drive faster than any other submarine on the planet, turn on a dime. Research vessels like poorly equipped apparently because they had torpedoes but not on the main one from the initial like attack or whatever. They didn't have the typical things that submarines should have, like the little, like at least I didn't see them, like the arms that grab specimens and things like that. Um, yeah, the shark science also not there. Like they look good, but they didn't really behave like sharks. Especially not like the regular sharks that just show up. They do, but just in a very rapid, like they wouldn't attack. They don't attack a whale carcass the moment it dies. They don't attack a megalodon carcass the moment it dies. Right?
Another
It's
shark carcass, yeah.
like it's not instantaneous like that. The Meg ate a billion tons of meat and just still wanted to eat more, which it wouldn't happen. Like it would eat its fill and then it would be fine for a while and go off and do sharky business.
And there, I think, so what you were saying about like the middle, like where the shark was originally, in the cold heat vent things or
That's
whatever.
another thing. In that deep in the ocean, if it was trapped down there, it would be very cold. Well, I guess if the hydrothermal vents were keeping it warm.
So
Regardless,
he,
the temperature change going from there to like shallow waters, like on the beach and stuff, would be a shock to that shark. And it
so
would
apparently this, I didn't know this until I did my research. But this movie is based off a book.
yeah,
And
it
in
is.
and in the book, it
It
does
is.
explain more details
Well,
about
guess
that
what?
to
This
make
isn't
it
a
make
review
sense.
on the book, so it's a review on the movie. And also, pressure is a thing. If the shark is adapted to that kind of pressure at the bottom of the ocean, the moment it gets too high up in the water column there, it's just gonna turn to mush. Like, you know what a blobfish is?
No.
Google a blobfish. You've seen it before. They don't look like that at the bottom of the ocean. They look just like a normal fish at the bottom of the ocean. But when you bring them up, they basically splatify because they can't handle, because they're built for that deep pressure, not the above
So
pressure.
eye roll meter, what would you give it?
2 eyeballs out of my skull rolled all the way to the back of my head. Your turn.
Oh, how about my eyeballs go out and then do
Okay.
a cartwheel like five,
Okay.
6 times throughout the whole movie?
Uh, Brutality. There's some decent quantity in this, but I wouldn't necessarily call them quality kills per se. So
Mm.
middle of the road, 50 out of 100.
40.
40.
Because they're like the like brutality, like it just was like, oh, we got swallowed.
Do you want to rank this on our list before or after the quiz?
Let's do it before.
Before? Okay. So I'll quick. I will recap the entirety of the list, but I won't do it every episode. You can check our Twitter at Jaws_show.
And I'm pretty sure
For
it's
the
on
full
the
list.
Discord, right? You have the list on the Discord?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know specifically, but probably. Uh, if not, I'll put it there. So Starting from the bottom and working our way up to the top. Number 27, Virus Shark. Number 26, Ice Sharks. Number 25, Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens. Number 24, Jurassic Shark. Number 23, Avalanche Sharks. Number 22, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. Number 21, Sharknado. Number 20, Sharknado 2. Number 19, Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre. 18, Shark in Venice. 17, Planet of the Sharks. 16 is a tie, Empire of the Sharks and Sharks of the Corn. 15, Sharknado 3, Oh Hell No. Number 14, Sharknado 5. 13, Santa Jaws. 12, Shark Night 3D. 11, Sharktopus. Number 10, Sharknado 6, It's About Time. Number 9, Ouija Shark. 8, House Shark. 7, The Reef. Number 6, Shark Attack, circa 1999. Number 5, Sharktopus versus Werewolf. 4, Six-Headed Shark Attack. That's entry 4. Title, Six-Headed Shark Attack. Number 3, 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Number 2, Jaws. And number 1, still top of the ranking, 47 Meters Down. Jazmin, where are you eyeballing for this list?
I'm gonna be real. It's gonna be at the bottom.
I don't think so. I think
I feel like it's not original enough compared to all the other movies we watch.
I think it's
not original.
plenty original because we've watched 28 shark movies. This is the first one we've watched that had a megalodon. The rest, well, I guess the Jurassic Shark movie was some sort of megalodon, but it was like the size of a small great white.
I don't know.
The
I guess
vast majority of them are all great whites or mutant sharks or shark squid hybrid or stuff like that. Like we haven't had a true gigantic meg shark yet, and this movie did that. Not only did they do that, this is going to be the highest production quality megalodon shark movie that we'll ever watch.
But I probably won't watch it again. The only reason why I watched it again was for this podcast. After that, I'm probably never going to watch it again. So I have to put it lower on the list because I'd rather watch a bunch of other movies compared to this one again.
I'm looking at number 20, below Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre and above Sharknado 2. I liked it better than Virus, Ice, Sharknado the Fourth, Jurassic, Avalanche, Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. You could argue with me about Sharknado and Sharknado 2. I probably enjoyed Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre more than this movie, just from pure entertainment value. This movie has a lot of entertainment value.
What number is
not the best movie,
Shark?
but it's what?
What number is Avalanche Shark?
23.
And you said Sharkensaw?
I said 20.
20?
I put it underneath Sharkensaw Women's Prison Massacre. I could stand to put the Meg above that, underneath Shark in Venice too. Would I put it above Shark in Venice? I'm not sure.
I would prefer to watch Avalanche Shark over this movie.
I couldn't disagree more.
So
I could not disagree more. I never want to watch Avalanche Sharks ever again.
But they had some cool factors. Avalanche Shark.
I'm good.
Okay, so let's agree above Avalanche Shark.
So there's no way it beats Santa Jaws.
No.
At 13, so it's at least not getting above that.
And not above 20.
Sharknado 5 is the second best of the Sharknado movies, according to us. I wouldn't put it above that either. I wasn't as hot on Sharknado 3, Oh Hell No, at least not that I remember. I think it made its way up there due to you and our guests.
I don't remember what Sharknado.
Jonathan Pienser is from Empire of the Sharks and Planet of the Sharks, so I'm inclined to put him below that. So I don't think it goes higher. I don't think it goes higher than 18, and I don't think it goes lower than 21.
How about I meet you and we say it's 20?
Because it's better. It's way better than Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. Oh, I think about it. Mega Shark is another one where it's like a giant megalodon, like a giant shark, kind of like this. Only this movie's done a billion times better than Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus. You got to give it that.
I mean, production-wise, because they had more money and it's newer happened in 2018 in comparison to when the other movie
The
came
acting
out.
was better. The story was better. Like everything about the Meg is better than Mega Shark. No offense to Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus, but you used a bird feeder as a scientific device to like lure the shark or whatever. It was a bird feeder that they painted. Like I
You're
own
right.
that. I own that bird feeder. They just took the top of it off and like, yeah. Anyway.
Well, yeah, I can see that, but I'm still stuck on.
You said 20.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the fact that I'd rather watch Crocosaurus versus Mega Shark than this movie.
I'm fighting with you on this because I would
Like if I have friends over, which one am I watching? I'm watching the weird one.
No, I'm pushing back. I'm not putting the Mega's not going below Mega Shark. It's just not.
Okay, fine. What's right above that?
Sharknado.
Okay, put it there.
At 22?
Or you can put it at 21.
That would
I don't remember all the Sharknadoes.
That would put it above Sharknado and below Sharknado 2.
That's fine. I just don't even like. There's too many Sharknado movies at this point for me to really remember all of them. So
I'm okay with this because Sharknado 2 was pretty funny now that I'm remembering it. Yeah. Okay. So congratulations, the Meg. You're slotted in at number 21, right in between number 20 Sharknado 2 and right above Sharknado 1. Good company to be in.
Good job. You are mediocre.
Hey, hashtag positivity podcast. We're not doing that this much this year. But guess what? We're going to be doing this again because we're going to have another episode about the Meg 2, The Trench, when it comes out on August 4th.
Woo! Second movie, hopefully they do better.
We will be going to the theater.
They're gonna do way better than this one because they're just gonna learn from all the things that occurred.
So I do want to point out, like, there's not much known about this movie. There's nothing about the plot. Now, immediately after we release this podcast, I'm sure they'll come out with a trailer. But as of this recording, it doesn't exist. There's some really cool like posters, like excellent posters. I will say this movie's got great posters. But the Meg 2's got some good ones. We do have the cast listing. Jason Statham returns as Jonas. Cliff Curtis as Mac returns, and Shuya Sophia Kai as Mei Ying returns.
Oh, really?
As well as Paige Kennedy as DJ. So we got 4 returning cast members.
That's fun.
Nobody else listed has like a character name underneath them. So, for instance, you have Sienna Guillory. Don't know who she plays. So Ling BB Ling is not appearing back on here. I'm sure she'll be mentioned because Mei Ying's in it. You know, the ex-wife is not in it. Ruby Rose isn't in it. So who knows if some of these characters are going to be
everyone else is
characters. Dead. Who knows if some of these characters are going to be that same the surviving cast, like just recast, or if they'll be more than likely they'll probably just be brand new characters with the exception of the returning people.
Because most of them died.
But there was still a ton of people left alive. Jason Statham, Bing Bing Lee, Cliff Curtis, Mac, he lived. Mei Ying lived. Ruby Rose lived. Paige Kennedy lived.
But then Lori lived, but everyone else died.
Lived as well. Mm-hmm.
Everyone else died.
I mean, that's still like 17 people.
You mean 21?
Sure, if you say so.
Okay, let's do the quiz.
We'll get to it. Ready. Before we get to the quiz, though,
oh, Lord,
we should mention that this is your job, Jazmin. The budget for the Meg was.
I did.
Did you? I didn't hear you say.
Yeah, at the very beginning when we were talking about it, you were like, they had a really big budget, and I was like, it's 130. No, I didn't, but I just said it was 130 million estimated.
So it made 130 to 178. So it made 530.2 million. So it was in the black, as it were, or the green, or whatever color you want.
Yeah. They made their profits back.
5 years. So is it the highest grossing shark movie of all time? That's a good question.
I have no idea.
That's got to be, like, if you take into account home sales, it's got to be Jaws.
Well, yeah. But it's also been around longer.
Nothing's going to beat Jaws. Jaws is sitting at $260 million.
Yeah.
By the way, this is Google's genre keyword for box office. Thank you, Box Office Mojo. Number 1 is Finding Nemo. Would not call that a shark movie. So striking it from the record doesn't count. Jaws is listed as number 2 at 260 million. Then Shark Tale is number 3 at 160.
Heck yeah!
160.8 million. It counts. It's on our list. Someday we're going to get to that. Should we get to that this season? I don't know.
Oh man,
we'll
let's
see.
just watch all the kid shark movies.
Shark Tale's on the list. And then number 3 is The Meg at 145. So it didn't even quite reach Shark Tale levels, but enough to warrant a sequel. Yeah, so speaking of like, will we watch Shark Tale or not, and what we're watching this season, that'll be determined by you, our dear Patreon listeners. And by the way, thank you so much, Patreon.
We love you.
Ken P, Cisco M, Steve S, Stephanie L, and Mom Hours. Thank you so much for your contributions to the show. You guys get early access to not just this show, but all our other shows: Pokemon After Dark Rye, Let's Die, the His vs. Hers Guide to the Apocalypse podcast, and Watchers of the Stuff. You also get sneak peeks at things like merch drops, and you get a monthly town hall meeting with me and whoever else from our staff joins in on Discord. There's just all kinds of stuff. And one of the perks is not only voting on every Pokemon we do for After Dark Ride, but you are also going to get to vote on the shark movies that we watch for Jawsbreakers. And right now, let's go ahead and lock in the movie we're going to watch next time, Jazmin.
Okay.
I'm bringing it up right now. And it's going to be the movie Shark Huntress. So congratulations, Shark Huntress. You're the next movie we're going to be watching next month in April. We don't have a day for that just yet, but it'll most likely be a Friday or a Saturday. But follow us on Twitter at Jaws_show, or Instagram at InstapodDog, and links for all that stuff in the description. And follow us for whenever we announce it, we'll announce it.
I'll also announce it on my Instagram as well.
Quiz time.
Yay! Let's see if I'm a failure.
All right, Jazmin. Unfortunately, Chris Logan and Vinny and Clay and all the people that take over this show because we failed our quizzes were unavailable, so we had to fill in.
Gotcha.
Man,
they're slacking, aren't they?
Majorly. All right, let me take a drink of this, and I will start the quiz. You say something.
I'm also going to take a drink. I'm ready. Let's do it.
That's bad podcasting.
Yeah. Who says you have to be a good podcaster to be in a podcast?
Me.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm terrible. Current estimates put the megalodon at around 10 plus meters or 33-ish feet, with some of the largest specimens possibly doubling that size. Some scientists contend that the ancient shark could have reached 80 feet or more. This Meg would whop up those estimates at a more manageable 5'10". What is its name?
are you talking about a shark?
I'm talking about a Meg.
I'm so confused by your question.
Jazmin, this is the Megquiz. Current estimates put the megalodon at around 10 plus meters or 33-ish feet. Some scientists contend that this ancient shark could have reached 80 feet or more. This Meg would whop up those estimates at a more manageable 5'10". You gotta give me
Bruce.
Bruce
The Meg. There you go.
Is that your final?
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with the question at all. My little shark brain cannot comprehend the question at all. So I'm gonna guess Bruce the shark.
Incorrect. The correct answer is the Meg the Stallion.
What?
The Meg the Stallion. Jazmin, if this Meg was anything like a great white, which is usually the base for what we estimate the open oceanic prehistoric predator, it was probably a quick and quiet hunter, stalking its prey from below before adrenaline coursed through its vein and it attacked from below in a sprinting burst of action, much in the way great whites hunt seals today. What is this Meg's last name?
What?
Do you want me to repeat it?
No. What is this Meg's name that quick and quiet? Is it Meg?
What's this Meg's last name, Jazmin?
I don't know Meg's last name from Dead by Daylight. Is that the Meg you're talking about?
Ding ding ding! I'll give you half the point. It is the Meg Thomas of DVD, Dead by Daylight. Jazmin,
How is that relevant?
they're Megs, Jazmin. Jazmin, this Meg is all about the sea bass, about that bass, no trout, and was born on December 22nd, 1993. Who is she? Are you okay?
I don't know people named Meg.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
No, I just don't know people named Meg. Megan Daly.
Incorrect. The correct answer was the Meg Trainer. The Meg Trainer.
Oh, Meg Trainer. Oh, all about that bass.
All about that sea bass, about that bass, about that bass. No trout.
Play on words. Okay, give me the other one.
The biggest megalodon tooth to be found is over 7 inches. This Meg found its big break in 2007, where she transformed into a mega celebrity after being in a Prime film.
Oh my god. Oh, the Transformer lady. Oh,
I'm sorry, I can't accept the Transformer lady. I need a name.
Hold on. She married what's his face.
I can't accept what's his face either. I need a name.
Megan. I know who it is. She's hot as shit. She was in that one movie where she was like possessed by a freaking demon.
It's called Jennifer's Body, but yes.
Yeah.
And it's a classic.
I don't know her last name.
So you don't get the point. The correct answer is the Meg Fox.
Megan Fox. Okay. I don't know why I can't remember last names right now.
Steve Alton wrote the book Meg, which inspired this movie. This Meg supported herself as a freelance calligrapher and was once mostly known for her role as a paralegal in the show Suits before she became a true megastar Duchess of the World. Talk it out. Audio podcast.
I can only remember one Megan.
Do you want me to reread the question?
Can you give me A, B, or C? I only remember one Megan. That's Megan Daly, and I don't even know who that is.
I don't even know who that is either, but she does not appear on the Meg trivia quiz. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
This
guess.
Meg supported herself as a freelance calligrapher and was once mostly known for her role as a paralegal in the show Suits before she became a true megastar Duchess of the World.
She's married to Prince what's his face.
Okay.
I don't know her last name, but I know who you're talking about. It's the chick that she married the prince.
I'm sorry, Jazmin, but the chick who married the prince is incorrect. What I was looking for was the Meg Markle. The Meg.
Is that who that is though? She married.
Yes.
I know who these people are. I just don't know names.
All right, Jazmin, last one. This one's worth 100 points. You can redeem yourself and win your co-host chair back with this one. Megalodon means big tooth and went extinct approximately 3.6 million years ago, probably due to a combination of factors, including being outcompeted for its prey by more efficient predators and the cooling of the oceans. Being cold-blooded herself, this Meg will never be seen without her red beanie to keep her warm. Also, you can tell this one to shut up, Meg.
I don't know their last name. It's from Family Guy. Meg from Family Guy, but I don't know their last name. I don't know the last name. Just give it to. I don't know the last name.
Sound it out. Name the other family members. The Meg Griffin. Ding, ding, ding. Congratulations, Jazmin. You get 100 points and you win your co-host chair back from Clation. You just got to win 2 more quizzes to get it back from Vinny and Chris Logan as well.
Yay. God, I can't remember last names worth the life of me. I just don't know names. That's the worst quiz to give me. I don't remember names at all. I don't remember celebrities. I called Jason Statham fucking Joe Jonas.
Hey, folks, that's going to do it for Jawsbreakers. As always, follow us at those places we said in the description below. Jazmin, what would you like to impart upon our listenership before we depart for another month?
Thank you guys for joining us, and I look forward to another year of good and bad shark movies. Movies that we may or may not have seen and we'll definitely watch together.
And follow her on Instagram at MeteorDoll, MEteorDoll.
Just a meteor full of dolls, you know?
MeteorDoll, there has never been one. You can please check us out on patreon.com/poddog and all that other stuff I said earlier. But yep, that's gonna do it for me. And oh wait, nope, that's the wrong catchphrase. I forgot.
Wrong podcast.
Almost said if we're gonna die, let's die.
Let's die together.
That's the wrong one.
Let's die. Let's die of smiling. You
don't
son
forget
of a bitch.
you smile. Oh, we're not doing it together.
Oh yeah, we're 3, 2, 1. Smile. Mic drop on season 4.
Do you want to
episode 1?
Do you want to try and do our catchphrase one more time?
Yeah.
Smile, you son of a bitch. Nope,
You did that so slow. Why?
Smile, you son of a bitch.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
Smile, you son of a bitch. Smile, you son of a bitch.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
SMILEE. Smiley, you son of a bee.
Yeah.
Now you sing it.
Give it an S. Give it an M.
Wait, you did A. That's an A. That's not an S. No, you said give me an S, and you went like that, which is an A.
Give me an S. Give me an M. Give me an I. Give me an L. Give me an E.
What's that spell?
Smile, bitches. What?
Sure, why not? Okay, so I know we finished recording the end bit, but I forgot to put the trailer on because we always watch the trailer for the next movie.
I remember.
Yeah, you remembered. Good job. We might have a guest for this one too. I don't want to say anything just yet, but look forward to that announcement when we announce the date and time for this one.
So this is the trailer for Shark Huntress.
Shark Huntress 2017, I think. Here we go. Life is Strange type music.
My mother's a dreamer.
Pretty lady.
Where would the world be without dreamers?
Nightmarish swim in the ocean.
Oh, that's some blood.
White female Caucasian has been found dead. Experts are puzzled by the bite imprint, which appears to be from a great white shark.
There's not that many sharks in these oceans for years.
Well, I mean, yeah, sharks have typically been in the ocean.
We're totally on our own.
Did you hear about the lady got taken by a great white shark yesterday?
Steve! Get out of water!
Your obsession with this shark is losing focus of the main objective. And I don't want to lose you.
Ooh,
Finding this shark is a priority #1 on my list.
Okay.
They put that great white in the water. They're trying to kill us.
Just cold cocked
If
that
I
guy
got a
on
chance.
here.
I would skewer it through the heart and roast it on the fire.
Get him.
So it's literally so this girl's mother was killed by this great white, and it's just a story of vengeance. But clearly, someone has put a man-eater great white near them to kill them all. I don't know.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I should have just waited like 2 more seconds. Shark Huntress.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah. What do you think, Jasmine?
I think that the poster almost matches the Meg poster.
Yeah. That it looks like a good time. It doesn't. It looks good. I'm not gonna say I don't have any thoughts other than that. Like production values on it from based on that trailer look pretty decent.
Looked okay. Reminds me of a lot of movies that we've seen. Different. We haven't had like a Shark Huntress movie before, but it kind of reminds me.
It's definitely a B movie, but it's a step
Yeah.
above like Virus Sharks or.
Oh yeah.
or,
No offense to Virus Shark. We
I'm
love
not-
you,
No offense
Virus
to
Shark.
any of the shark movies we watch. I'm just saying like there's the type of movie that you and your buddies make, and then there's the type of movie that you has like a couple like $10,000 budget. Then there's like the movies that have like $100,000 budget, and then there's the movies that have like millions of dollars of budget. And this one looks like it might be somewhere in the middle there.
Couple thousand maybe.
Well, I'm gonna guess like 50,000 because they're on location on a beautiful island. They got boats, they got good looking props and stuff like that. So, and they got a diverse looking cast.
So stay tuned. We will find out if
Possible
this
guest.
Huntress kills her prey. The shark will now become the prey instead of the predator.
Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't help but feel like I'm forgetting something. But I'm sure.
Oh, we did the list. We did the quiz.
I'm sure I'll remember far too late.
Rating. We did the ratings. We did the quiz. We did the positions. We did the trailer. We did the fun facts. We did the movie. We did it.
No, I know. I can't help but think in regards to Shark Huntress, I'm forgetting something.
No. All we do is show the trailer for the next time. That's it.
There's something I'm forgetting. Oh, I know. I remember. We have a movie that we're making that's still coming out. I forgot to remind the audience about that. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's still coming. They Come from the Deep is the title. And other grim tales to drown to. Part 1 and 2, like it's a 3-parter.
It's in progress.
Its editing is a nightmare, and I hate it. I'm currently still editing part 2. Part 1 has been sent to our real editor, so hopefully by summer, I hopefully will have a trailer available. And it would be nice to watch our own movie on our own show and rip ourselves apart.
Oh yeah.
That's coming someday. When we watch our movie, it might be at the end of this season, it might be at the beginning of next season, but it'll be sometime within a year is what I'm shooting for. So look forward to more. Oh, and you can get progress and up-to-date stuff on that occasionally on the Patreon as well. Okay, that's it. We got to go. Bye, Jasmine.
Okay.